Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Royal Theater for Showtime. And now, please put your hands together and welcome to the stage your host, your cruise director, Steve from Canada.
Hi, everybody. Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside the Royal Theater for Showtime. You guys ready for some fun tonight? Yeah. Did you enjoy your day today and catch a can? Yeah. Did you see a fish? Millions of fish doing what they do best. I hope you guys had fun. We're motoring our way towards Sitka. We'll be there tomorrow morning bright and early. Arrival at 8 o'clock, gateway down at 8:30, and I'll tell you more about it at the end of the show, some things you need to know. As always, all the information we'll play for you on Channel 1 of your in-cabin TV and Entertainment Today. Give you a little deep dive into all the stuff you need to know for Sitka. And of course, tonight, folks, after we leave here, there's lots of fun things happening for you, including a chance for you to become the star of the cruise, because on the last night of the cruise, we do a show called Karaoke Superstar, and 6 of your fellow guests are going to compete to become the new singing sensation here aboard the Quantum of the Seas. Round 1 of the auditions happens inside of Boleros at 9 o'clock tonight. If you want to audition or just come and watch your fellow guests do it, that's right after this. We also have Finish That Lyric happening inside of 270 after this, and our 50s and 60s sock hop party happening inside of the 270 Lounge at 10 o'clock. Live music with Supernova, they're incredible, and the entertainment staff will be out there with you having some fun as well, so definitely come and join us for that. Now, I want to make sure that our performer knows that you guys are here for the right type of show, so on the count of 3, let me hear some noise. 1, 2, 3! Right. Now, folks, I want to share a little story with you. I told you maybe earlier in the cruise, you heard I came back to this ship in Singapore, and when we're sailing out of Singapore, we got very, very few American guests, but sometimes we get a couple on board, and we met a lovely young lady. Her name was Edna. I shouldn't say young. She's in her mid-70s. I met her in that cruise out of Singapore, and she actually became kind of a star of the cruise. She was on the Welcome Aboard show there, so guests kind of knew who she was. And then as we were sailing around out there in Singapore, on occasion we get close to the Singapore skyline, and she was out there taking some photographs, and she was up on the top deck of the pool deck, and it's really hot in Singapore. It's like 110 degrees all the time, and she had a little sundress on and her hat, and she's taking photographs, and I was up there filming one of our shows, and I saw Edna by the side, and this big gust of wind came, and Edna's dress got picked up by the wind and shot up right over her head like this. And we saw everything, all right? And I told you, she was like 70-some years old. And the weird thing was, you would have thought she would have put her dress down like that, but no, she grabbed her hat like this, which I thought was weird. And I didn't want to say anything to her at that moment because everybody was like, woo! And then, so I saw her on the Esplanade a little bit later that day, and I got over to her. I said, Edna, I saw you up on the pool deck today, and you were taking pictures. You look beautiful. You had your sundress on and your hat. But I got to ask you a question, because when that big gust of wind came and it shot that dress up over your head, I thought you would have all put it down, but you grabbed your hat like this, and I just thought that was strange. And she said to me a line I'll never forget. She said, Steve, everything under this dress is 77 years old. This hat is brand new. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's got a great show for you tonight. This gentleman's going to perform the family show for you this evening, and that has an R-rated show coming up at 11:15 on day 5. That's Juno night. That's for guests over the age of 18 who enjoy their comedy a little more on the spicy side. But he's here for you tonight. You may have seen him on MTV or NBC. Please put your hands together for the hysterical comedy, Mr. Rocky Osborn. Come on! Put that anywhere. How you guys doing? Wow, what a crowd. Really, you guys made signs? You're so weird. I got here, I got on the ship, and this is the first time they've ever done this to me. They said, I went to go eat. I like eating in the dining room like everybody else probably does, right? And I got to the dining room, and they put me at a table for 8, or what is it, 2, 4, 6. They put me at a table, and I'm like, I'm just one person. And they give me a table for 6, and so the people I'm eating with are here in the front row, and they made signs. That's funny. They're like, you're gonna eat with other people, so I'm just lying to everybody. People are like, who are you here with? I'm like, I'm here with my mom and my dad, my sister, my brother. So I keep telling everybody all these weird stories about him. You guys are a sign that says Rocky's mom. That's awesome. Starting to get a little nervous though. I don't know. There's too many signs there. Any minute it's gonna say something inappropriate. I'm like, Thanks for coming out, you guys. You guys having a great time so far? Good stuff. I'm so glad we got a big crowd like this, because they really wanted to get a big crowd together, and then they asked me to come out here and talk to you about your car's extended warranty. If I could just have a minute of your time to talk about that. Let me take my phone out before I always lose track of time, so I want to make sure I know where I'm at. Oh, the ship is amazing. I've only been doing the ships for about 6 months.
Where are my first-time cruisers at? Where are you guys at? Yeah, good. All right, good. A lot of you guys, right? You a little freaked out by some of the stuff you found? Right? Like when you get upstairs and you see the TV in your room and you're like, wow, a TV. And then you start flicking channels. And you're like, channel 1, channel 2, channel 1. You're like, what? There's no TV in the room. The bathrooms are confusing, aren't they? Oh my God, the first time I got in one of those, and I'm in that shower and it's just a cylinder and I'm washing, and then I remembered they were like, oh, this ship has water slides. And now I'm thinking, what if this is the water slide? I'm just washing myself like this, just in case the floor falls out. I'm like, shh. I'm in the promenade going, that was amazing. Why am I the only one naked? I hear a few people complain every now and then, right? They're like, oh, women, right? Women. Never been heckled by a baby before. All right, that's fine. Women are always complaining about how small the bathroom is. I think the bathroom's perfect size for you ladies, right? You can sit down and do your business, and then just turn to the left and put on your makeup, right? That's what you do. That's how you do it. And if you run out of toilet paper, just grab the shower head. You're fine, right? You can just... You do that too? No? Give her another drink. All right, she's fine. He can't get her a drink. He's like, shut up. No, I get it. You're in charge. I get it. All right. So anyways, I'm, you guys doing? Bathrooms, man. How about those ninjas that are cleaning your room? Anybody run into those yet? I haven't even seen him yet. I opened my door just to set the trash out there. I closed my door, turned around, my bed was made. I was like, is he in my room? Is he? I'm looking over the cat like he's in here somewhere. Freaking out. The toilet, that's an interesting one. You got that whole list of things they tell you not to flush. Oh my God, I didn't want to get in trouble, so I just pooped in the sink. I didn't know what to do. Feel bad for whoever has to clean that up. Good stuff, man. Where do we go from here? I've had a lot of weird things happen to me on the ship. I'll share some of those with you. This one happened today. This was fun. Those of you that saw my picture out there on the thing, I walked up and I went to go take a little selfie with it just to take a picture, because not all the ships put your picture up. And so I went to go take a picture in front of my picture, but as I got down there were two older ladies. They might be here tonight. And they were standing there. They were older, like I think their first cruise was on the Titanic. And you know what I'm talking about? And their last one was on Cocoon. But they were looking at my picture, and then the one lady goes, let's go to the comedy show. He's kind of cute. So I was standing there and I go, oh, thank you. And she goes, I'm talking about the guy in the picture. So I go, you don't think I look like the guy in the picture? She looked at the picture, looks at me, and she goes, you wish. I'm like, am I catfishing people? Is that what's happening? I don't even know. Here's the craziest thing that's happened to me on a ship, and this just happened last week. I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell you this story, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. I asked, I was like, is there anything off limits? And he was like, nope, and I'm like, then I'm gonna do it. This is a true story. So last week, and you would think being on the ships, I've been on the ships for about 4.5 months now, 5 months, and you would think that I would know things, right? But I don't know everything. I got off the ship, I was in the Caribbean for 2 full weeks and got right onto this one. So this is my 3rd week in a row, away from my girlfriend, who I'm 99% sure is trying to kill me. We'll talk about that in a minute. But so I got there and I got this Indian food, right? Anybody been to St. Martin, St. Thomas, St. Kitts? Yeah. Anybody been down there? So in St. Martin, they have that beautiful port area, and they have all those little restaurants, and they have this amazing Indian restaurant. So I got the spicy Indian curry, and I took it back to the ship, and I got on, and the guy goes, hey, you can't bring that on the ship. And I was like, well, where am I supposed to eat it? And he goes, out there somewhere. So I went out there, and it was on the dock, and so but the town, right, from where the ship is to where the port is, where the shops are, it's like a 1/4 mile. It's a journey. So I just walked out, I got to the dock, I sat down at the end, I threw my legs over the side, I started setting my food up, and these 2 security guards come running out there, and they're like, sir, 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 and I almost jumped in the freaking water, all right, because they're freaking out. I turn around, I'm like, what's going on? And the guy goes, you can't sit there, you might fall in. I'm like, yeah, maybe 2 crazy people will just start running at me, screaming, and make me jump in. So I go, what's going on? He goes, you can't sit there, that's not safe. So as I start to get up to turn around, one guy squeezes around me. Like, that's when you start to know how old you should be, right? That's when you know you're old, is when people start like trying to protect you from stuff they don't need to protect you from. And he's like, go on, sir, go ahead and get up. And I just, at this point, just wanted to go, this is Sparta, and just kick him right in the chest, right? Just send him flying over. So then I go, the guy said I could eat out here, and he goes, you can't eat near the edge. So there's this pole, and I go, can I just go eat by the pole? And he goes, yeah, that's fine. So I go to the pole, I set my backpack behind me. Here's the bad news, I don't have any water. And this food is spicy. And it's 107 out there, it's hot out there. So I take my hat off, my hair is a mess, I'm sunburned, I'm literally not looking too good. And I know how bad I look because at this point I set my food out and they gave me an extra little cup bowl thing to put my bones in from the chicken, and I set it to my right. And then I go to grab a piece of bread and something catches the corner of my eye. As I turned, somebody put $1 in my cup. This is a true story. And I'm like, I'm not homeless. And then I'm thinking, right, do they think that somebody like bought a cruise and got a sea pass and they're like, here, I'm gonna go panhandle in the thing. So I go out there and I said, I'm like trying to get up to tell the guy, hey, stop, I'm not homeless, this isn't what this is for. And a lady walking with her husband goes, oh, that's the comedian. And he goes, oh, hey, buddy, here. And he tries to give me $1. And I'm just, this is crazy, so I give everybody back their money. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just sitting here eating because they won't let me take my food on. And then I'm sitting there finishing my food and my ego gets the best of me because I start thinking to myself, I just did 14 shows on this ship. And those people thought I was worth a $1 tip, right? And I go to get back on, and when I go to get back on, I looked at the guys that made me go out there and I go, thanks, and then the guy goes, hey, no problem. He goes, oh, and by the way, you can't ask people for money when I'm like, you need to shut up right now. You just shut up. That's probably the biggest thing I've been dealing with lately is people that are mean, right? Like, don't be mean. Here's my thing, and my girlfriend hates this about me. It's that if you're mean, I'm meaner, right? If you're a nice person, I'm a nice person. But if you're mean, I'm 10 times meaner. I know there's a lot of guys here that are like me, right? Like, I get angry and mean. Or vindictive. A couple months ago, I live out in California. I get on a plane, you have to have your mask on. A couple months ago, I got my mask on. I get to the airport, got it on. Get on the plane, got it on. I get off, get in the Uber, got to keep it on. Get into the hotel in Miami, Florida. Anybody from Miami? Let's talk about these people. So, I get into the hotel, I get on the elevator, I press the button. These three guys come on. They're not wearing masks. And one guy goes, hey buddy, you're in Florida, you can take off your stupid frickin' mask. So, I took it off, put it in my pocket. I go, thanks man, I tested positive for COVID this morning, but if you're good, I'm good. He's pushing the elevator button like he can't get it to go fast enough. Be nice to people, man. You ever pay for somebody's food at a fast food restaurant? You ever done that? You have, sir? This guy's still looking at me like, why is this mannequin talking to me? All right, that's fine. You've done this, right? It's a nice gesture. I've done it, but here's one time I did it, and I pulled into this McDonald's, and this guy came in through the exit, which he wasn't supposed to do, and then he honks at me for cutting him off, but I'm like, you came in the wrong way, buddy. So I came in and I turned, and as I turned and I went in, he pulled up behind me. I ordered my food, the guy in front of me leaves, and I was on my phone, I get it, right? So he honks at me, and I'm like, oh my God, get over it. So I pull forward a little bit. Now the guy leaves the window where he paid. I'm not on my phone anymore, I'm paying attention. He honks at me again. So I pull forward, I get up to the window and I'm like, hey look, this guy behind me is having a bad day. I'd like to pay for my food and his food. And she was like, oh, that's very sweet of you. Good. Pull up to the next window. As I get to that next window, she says, I hear her behind me. Oh, the guy in front of you paid for you. The guy said, he should have. So they brought me my food, I took it, I showed her the second receipt, took his food too, and I got out of there. Right? Be nice. There's no reason to be mean, man. What's that? Yeah, whatever that language is you're speaking. Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe that's why these guys on the front row look so confused. They don't speak. Do you guys speak English? Oh, it's the alcohol. Yeah, good job. Good job. Yeah, between you two, I'm dreading the next show. Oh, you drink the same drink. Are you sharing a drink now? What? Sir, you have 2 drinks. All right. Okay, protect your children. I'm not sure what's going on here. Do protect your children. Protect them from people like me. Because I will tell you this, man. Sometimes you get on ships, and I'll say it because, you know, some people are too nice and I'm not. Sometimes you get on the ships and people are just like, it's a ship, where are they gonna go? And then they just ignore their kid for 7 days. And I'm getting on an elevator that some kid just pressed every button on, right? Or you get on another one and the kid's like, look, I made a Christmas tree. And I'm like, this is Sparta. You know what I'm talking about? I can't take it. He's got a few more years before he's that kid. Eating in the buffet, when you eat in the buffet, sometimes some of these kids, they have no manners. They'll just cut right in front of you. Right? Have you had that? They'll just cut right in front. I'm standing, there's a line of people, and the kid just cut in front of me, and I'm like looking around for his parents, and then shoot a little elbow. You know what I'm talking about? Just a little. Right? That's what I'm saying. Oops is right. Get out of here, you little brat. I get it, man. I get it. I know I'm a bad person, man, but you know, I've been doing this long enough that I know. Here's the thing is, I'm gonna keep track so I know which way I want to go here. I have like so much in my brain, I just want to get out. I'm like, this is my time to vent. I'm not telling anybody to hit kids. Please don't hit your kids. I'm not condoning that. If you think your kid needs to send them to me, I'll do it. Let me do it because I grew up with one of those dads, right? I didn't have timeout when I was a kid. No, I had blackout when I was a kid, right? It was different growing up back when I grew up. I grew up in the 70s, which means I grew up right. That's what that means, right? Oh, God, no. Now, yeah, you get it. You're not clapping, you're spoiled. My dad hit first, ask questions later. Right? My dad could just hear my mom say something from the other side. Rocky. My dad would be like, bam, what'd you do? What did you do, Ginger? Yeah. Got it. Get up. Time for dinner. Sorry about that. Get up. Rub some dirt on it. Come join us at the table. Dad ever say that to you? Rub dirt on it? That was his big thing. Is infected. Rub more dirt on it. That was his thing, man. My dad would say stuff to you to try to scare you. Every day you were scared. He would say stuff like, I brought you into this world. Yeah, if you don't know how that phrase ends, you grew up a little sissy. Right? If your dad didn't threaten you, your dad ever say something to you that you thought was funny until you found out the hard way it wasn't supposed to be funny? My dad said this to me once. He goes, keep it up, boy. I will knock you into the middle of next week. And then I started laughing, and then I woke up, and it was Wednesday. I had a test on Tuesday. What happened? If I fail, this is on you. My dad was one of those guys that always felt like he could tell you what the weather was going to be based on which body part hurt. He was so old school, you know? My dad would be like, oh man, my shoulder's acting up. I think we're going to get rain. Oh yeah, rain's coming for sure. Ooh, my knee is locking up. We're going to get some cold weather coming in soon. I'm like, oh my God. I remember one day he was in the bathroom yelling out at my mom, and he goes, Ginger, I'm constipated. My mom goes, what did he say? I go, 6 more weeks of winter. That's how it was, man. I love my mom, man. I love my mom. My mom lives near me. She lives in Palm Springs. And, oh, God, I love her, but, you know, some days I'm like, how much insurance do you have? Because she says to me, yeah, my mom right here. My mom says to me, she goes, my mom, she calls me up the other day. She goes, hey, I want to get one of those iPhone things. Well, the fact that you just said thing at the end of iPhone tells me you don't need one, right? I made this huge mistake. I bought my mom one of those Amazon Alexas. I took it to her house. I set it up for her. I set it up so it would turn her light on because I'm worried about her. She lives by herself. Mom, here's what you do. When you get up and you get up in the middle of the night, you say, you know, Alexa, turn on the light. And it'll turn on the light so you can see when you're walking down the hall. She's like, oh, thank you. Oh, this is amazing. 3 days later, my mom calls me up. Hey, that thing you bought me? Yeah, it's not working. I go, what do you mean it's not working? She goes, it won't turn on the light. I go, well, what are you doing? She goes, listen, this is what I say. I go, Amanda. Turn on the light. I'm like, Mom, it's not Amanda, it's Alexa. She goes, oh my God. I'm so embarrassed. Let me try that. Alexa, turn on the light. Mom, did it work? Oh, I don't know. I'll let you know when I get home. I'm like, it doesn't work. She's getting crazy and old and senile. She's at this point now where it's gotten just so crazy where she's just, she gets into these, like, she'll take you guys, anybody, my mom's 84. Anybody got a mom that age? No, the rest of you are that age? So, I'm a little worried. I feel like there are two of the older guys from the Muppets are up there right now. What kind of show is this, Harriet? I don't know, Bill, but it's not good. She takes me, like, you call her, and that's the thing I don't want, that's another reason I don't want to get her an iPhone is because I'm bad enough on my phone. I'm a voice texter. Where are my voice texters at? Where are you guys at? Good. Are you like me? You say what you say, and then you just hit send. It's their problem now, right? I get in trouble all the time. My buddy sent me a message. He goes, man, I'm just so glad Trump's gone. You couldn't trust that guy. And I said, you can't trust them all. And I hit send. And then later on, I went to see what his response was, and I sent my buddy a message that said, I wish he would have built a wall. I didn't even say that. Now I haven't heard from Sanchez in 3 weeks. I think he's mad at me. My mom sends me a text. I see you're home, right? She's still using her old phone. I see you're home. Am I going to see you this week? I said, I'll be by at 6. Send. Hit send. Later on, I went to go look to make sure that time was going to work out for her, and I sent my 84-year-old mom a message that said, I'll see you for sex. So now I pick up my phone, and I go to thumb text her to say that's not what I meant. And before I hit send, my mom replies with, okay, see you soon. Either she knew what I meant, or I have a messed up family. You know what I'm saying? She gets me on the phone. She takes me down these rabbit holes, man. She'll just be, this is an actual conversation with my mom the other day. Hey, did I tell you about your sister? Yeah, you did. You told me that she's getting kicked out of her house? Yeah, did I tell you she's getting kicked out of her house? Yeah, I just said that. Right? She'll just keep saying stuff to me. And I go, and she goes, I just don't know what they're gonna do. She goes, and then they have this bird feeder in the back, this really nice bird feeder. And I'm like, well, they can take that with them. And she goes, well, it's not really working anyways. The birds don't get in there because the squirrels keep getting in there. The squirrels are eating all of the bird food. And I'm like, okay. She goes, I don't know where, I don't know where they're gonna live. And I'm like, the squirrels will figure it out. She goes, no, I'm talking about your sister. And I go, oh, she'll be fine, And then she's like, well, I don't know. I'm just worried about them. And I go, they're adults. They'll figure it out. My mom's like, how do you know the squirrels are adults? I go, what conversation are we having? She's so crazy, man. And that's my biggest fear, is that my girlfriend is going to turn into her. Right? And at what age can I just be like, you're going into a home? Hoping it's 49, but I guess that's probably not it. I got one of those girlfriends that I'm 99% sure is trying to kill me because every time I come home, she's been watching some murder show. Right? One of the biggest shows she's watched. It didn't bother me at first because she was watching simple shows like Unsolved Mysteries. And I was like, Unsolved Mysteries, who cares? Right? Then she starts watching a show called Forensic Files. And I'm like, creepy, but okay. Then she starts watching a show called Making a Murderer. And then How to Get Away with Murder. And then she starts watching a show called Snapped. There's your murderers right here. So I asked her, I go, hey, is everything good with us? Are we good? She goes, we're fine, calm down. It's just the shows I like to watch when you're gone. And then I come home, turn on the TV, and there's a new show she's watching called How to Convince Your Significant Other You're Not Trying to Kill Him. I'm like, all right, this is too far. It's too far. Her favorite show that she says is also my favorite show is Dateline. Anybody watching this? All the women? All right, I see you. We were watching this episode. This is what freaks me out about her, is she's watching these shows and she's too involved, right? Like we're watching, the guy just walks in, she goes, oh, don't just go in there with your shoes on, you're gonna leave prints. I'm like, who are you right now? Right? She's like freaking out. She wants these guys to get away with it, right? She's looking, she's like, well, he was probably cheating on her anyways. You don't know, we just started the show. And she does this. Have you guys seen the episode? There was a Dateline episode where this guy gets up every morning and he takes a bottle of Gatorade with him to the gym. And every morning his wife gets up before him, pours a little of the Gatorade out and puts in antifreeze. You've seen this. Okay, some of you. And then she puts the cap on and shakes up. And then it eventually, 6 months later, it killed him. And I was like, oh my God. I swear to God, she said, I wonder how much she put in there. What is happening? And I don't like Dateline, because Dateline has this guy on it called Keith Morrison. You like this guy? He's creepy. He's like talking in nursery rhymes. Right? Somebody was just killed. Murder-suicide tonight on Dateline. And then Keith Morrison chimes in with his weird talk. He's the guy with the gray hair all brushed back. Tonight on Dateline. 2 strangers out into the night. 2 strangers went out of sight. One came back for just a minute. And the other, find out tonight. On Dateline's A Walk to Remember. I'm like, why does it have to rhyme? Why is he so creepy? Half the time I think he's the one that did it. Right? I'm like, I think Keith did it. I just fear that I'm gonna end up on there one day. That's my biggest fear, is that she's just gonna kill me and I'm on Dateline. And then they're like, tonight on Dateline, the missing comedian. Did he like green eggs and ham, she said? He liked them, said Rocky I Am. He likes them scrambled with a side of toast. He likes his toast with honey from bees. But will he like it with antifreeze? Find out on our next episode called One Fish, Two Fish. Red fish, dead fish. Thank you.